You're being pretty sly right now, Laurel. Huh? I hear that you went and divorced Jim, right? If that's the case, then you need to hurry up and get out of his house. Who is this again? Even if you and I perhaps talked a little bit before, this is your first time ever texting with me, so you should at least tell me who you are before starting the conversation. Considering you and Jim had your divorce, an ex-wife like you has no right knowing who I am. Well, if I have no right knowing your name, then you have no right coming to me like this and saying all of these things to me. Now, if you're not going to tell me who you are, then I'm going to have no choice but to block you, and then we won't ever have to talk to one another again. I guess I have no other choice. My name is Ivy, and I happen to be Jim's girlfriend. Huh? His girlfriend? Does that mean, in other words, Jim has been cheating on me with someone else this whole entire time? What? Oh, how mean of you. Jim and I, the relationship he and I have had with one another is too beautiful to be labeled as such a shallow and impure thing like cheating. Really? Is that right? However, what you just told me is known to everybody else in the world as cheating, considering he had still been married to me until very recently. But I'm telling you, he was not cheating on you with me, so stop trying to make it seem like all this has ever been is an affair. Well, to be frank, I really don't care what you call it. Huh? You really don't care? Since I have nothing to do with either one of you and never really did, how you go about calling the relationship you both had with one another while he was married to me doesn't matter. I don't care what you call it. Really, all I've noticed so far by this conversation is that it's a complete and total waste of my time right now, and that you are just annoying me is all. What the hell was that? If you don't give a crap about this conversation or about Jim and I, then get the hell out of his house. Starting today, this place is Jim's and mine to live and love one another in. This place? Where exactly is this place you're speaking of? I'm right in front of the house that you're supposed to be living in right now, but instead have been squatting inside of like a sly little rat. What? You really are. I just took a look out front and I saw a trespassing girl with a bag in her hand standing right in front of our door. Who the hell are you calling a trespassing girl? If you're going to start calling me that, then that means you've gone and broken and entered into my house and should be kicked out. But this is my own house I'm sitting in. No, it's not. That house is for Jim and I. That is supposed to be the house that Jim and I can start making love to one another in while we start our very own family. So hurry the hell up and get out. All of your crap inside that house is worthless to us, so make sure you take it all with you. There'd better not be a single piece of trash in there when I move in. Now, you work on getting out of that house, okay? All right then. Understood. But currently, Jim is not here. What? Why isn't he home today? We only just got divorced from one another yesterday, but he had already had things planned out for today, so he left. And I believe when it comes to him moving into his new place and all of that, he's going to be doing that this weekend. What the hell? So that's what's going on here? Well, if he's not home today, then I don't really have to bother with you now. I'll be going back to my place this time. However, I'll only allow you to be in my house until this weekend, and then after that, you need to be out of there before I'm back and ready to move in all of my things. Jim, do you have a moment to talk?
Oh, it's you, Laurel. I thought we spoke about how we wouldn't really be talking to one another anymore, unless there was an emergency or something. Did something happen to the house or my things since I left?
There was a woman at the house today claiming to be your girlfriend, Jim.
Huh? What do you mean by that? I get that you and I just had a divorce and everything, but that doesn't mean I've already made myself a girlfriend.
I get that, okay? I don't think someone as stupid and stubborn as you could ever be able to keep a girlfriend like her a secret from me while we were married, nor make her your girlfriend that quickly after leaving me. So relax.
Ah, right. As long as you understand that I didn't know her, we're good. Thanks. Do you mind telling me everything you know about that woman, in case I know her from somewhere?
Well, she had semi-long hair, and her name is Ivy. At least, that's what she called herself.
Ivy?
Do you know who she is, then?
As long as it isn't someone else with the same name as the girl I remember. That Ivy is a classmate I had from elementary school all the way until the end of high school. Most of the time, I really only knew her to be this basic girl, but in high school, I found out that she was actually the daughter of this really wealthy CEO. She would always go around saying that all the men at school loved her and that she was the best woman ever. I'm not sure why, but she has a lot of confidence in herself. I know this may sound mean, but she was the most annoying person I can remember from school. Ever since we graduated from high school, the only other time we ran into one another was at a class reunion that was held during my college years.
Someone as shallow and annoying as her is back looking for you now?
If I were to think about what might have brought her all the way out to me, it might have to do with the fact that our moms were good friends back in the day, so we would see one another a lot. As far as I'm aware, both of our moms are still actually friends with one another and tend to hang out a lot. To me, all Ivy ever was a really annoying classmate, and there was never anything back then that we did together. However, I do remember hearing from my mom back in elementary school that Ivy had this dream about marrying people from class, and she ended up marrying me of all people. I mean, this has to be so far-fetched, but do you think she might be back around me now because of that dream?
Considering the type of woman I was having to talk with today over text, that sounds like the kind of thing that's happening with her. Actually, there is something that your mom said to me back when we had first gotten married. It was something along the lines of her saying that there was a girl who she viewed as her daughter that she really believed you'd be getting married to. And she said that to me in a very hateful and upset kind of tone at the time.
Wait, something like that was said to you by her?
Based on what you've said to me, I can tell now who your mom had been talking about back then.
I'm so sorry about what my mom had said to you.
Don't bother apologizing for that now. It happened years and years ago.
I know, but...
Right now, though, I really don't want to be getting wrapped up in whatever kind of situation that Ivy woman wants to have with you. So could you please do something about her, and perhaps your mom as well, if she has anything to do with this?
I can. Don't worry. It's crazy that someone as annoying as her would be coming back into my life at a time like now, but I'll figure out some way to get her out of here. When I have some good news for you regarding her, I'll make sure to send you a text with the info.
Please and thank you.
But there is one small problem here. I never once gave Ivy my phone number in the past, and I've even changed it a few times since the last time I ran into her.
Wait, is that so?
I'm gonna assume that it was my mom who went and gave my current number to her.
That would mean it was your mom who went and told her about who I am and what happened between you and I.
When it comes to my mom, you're more than welcome to block her number as well as anyone else in my family's number. I'll make sure to handle all of this for you now.
I'll go ahead and block them all right now. Good luck with the cleanup, Jim. Jim, it's been such a long time since I last saw you. Oh, this is your newly found fiancé, Ivy.
What? Then does that mean you went and got my number and everything from my mom?
That's right. Wouldn't it be strange for your fiancé to not even have your number or know much about your current situation? So I went and had her tell me everything.
Wait, you hold on a second there. The last time you and I ever met one another was years and years ago at that class reunion when we were still in college, right? And after that, even if we saw one another, we never said a word to each other and just carried on with our lives. I get that our moms may still be very good friends with one another to this day, but that doesn't mean you and I have ever had anything with one another. So what the heck do you think you're doing, calling yourself my fiancé now?
Come on, I can tell that you're getting all nervous and are blushing right now.
What?
I know already, Jim. I know about how you went to that really good college for me and that you aim to find a job within a really large and famous company with a heavy salary to prepare for your future with me. And you have been working so hard at that company now, climbing up the company ladder, all for me. But while you've been going through all that hard work doing your best for me, I've been with other men and even married one of them. That really broke your heart to see and was terrible for you. So you went and married a woman of your own, that Laurel bitch. And this whole time since you've married her, you've been regretting it all, right? But then you found out about how I went and had that divorce with my husband. And that's why you went and divorced Laurel as quickly as you could, so that you'd be ready for me to move in and marry you, right?
What?
Right? I'm totally right about all of this, aren't I? Well, this was all told to me by your mom, of all people. You should have been with your mom at the time she told me all of that, because I was moved so dramatically and knew I had to come to you.
This is the first time I'm hearing about you having gotten married and having gotten divorced.
No way. You're going to joke around with me like that again, Jim? It's totally fine for you to just open up to me now and show me all the feelings you've had all along, okay? I'm telling you, I don't care that you ended up marrying another woman like that when you were getting so jealous of all the men I was with, and I forgive you for it. Now, this weekend, I'll be coming over to your house again to start moving in with you. Around that time, Laurel should be moving out of the house for good, so you and I can head to the courthouse right after I've dropped off all my stuff and get married to each other. This is going to be the start of our happy life together as husband and wife, all right?
That was freaking awful, Laurel.
What happened?
About Ivy, man. She just started to text me out of nowhere, you know?
Ah, so that really does mean that your mom went and told her your number, right?
She told me that herself when I had asked.
So can you go into detail about what all was so awful about her? Besides the things I very much know now.
Having to explain all of it to you is going to be a bit difficult for me because it's so far out there in terms of madness. You know what? I'm going to just send you screenshots of everything, all right? I think that would be easier on me and would be better for you to fully understand everything.
Sounds good. Man, this is all so hard for me to read through right now because of how cringy it all is.
Now that I've gone ahead and seen it all, I think this was the best time for it. Had she come over a day earlier or whatever, I would have had to see her in person, and I don't even want to know what the hell that could be like.
Very true.
As for you, Laurel, things have all come to this now, and I would hate for you to have to deal with that chick any more than you've already had to, so how about you work on those plans you'd made up before and take care of your business right now? I've already finished all of my prep and am ready to get going.
Good point. I guess it's about time I wrap all of what I had planned out up. Thanks for mentioning that, as well as showing me these screenshots. I'm going to call my company, and depending on what they say, I'll try to get things moving along by Friday. Hey, what the hell is all of this? Laurel, this is nothing at all like the promise you had made to me before. What? Did you and I ever make a promise with one another before today? About this house, we sure did. We made the promise that you would be out of this house by the weekend, right? Well, right now it's the start of that weekend we talked about before, and yet that promise you made to me wasn't upheld. If that's what you're referring to right now, I made sure to leave the house on Friday. I don't care about when you left the house, you idiot. Then why are your panties in such a twist? Things like all the furniture that was in here and all of the appliances that were in here. There is nothing left anymore as all of those things have disappeared. There is literally nothing left in this house for me anymore. I never told you that you could take things like the furniture and the appliances that were supposed to be mine with you. Could you hold on for just a second there, please? If you're able to tell me all of those things about the inside of the house right now, does that mean you're actually inside the place? Well, of course I'm in the house. Starting today, the place is mine, according to that promise. And how exactly were you able to open any of the doors without a key? I got a spare key from Jim's mom, for crying out loud. We told that woman to give back all of those keys she went and had made without ever asking for permission to. Yet she still had some left over, huh? Huh? Listen, you'd better start explaining things to me right now so that I can understand what's going on here. All right. Starting with the conclusion to everything regarding the house, it belongs to a realty company now and is no longer mine. Huh? Maybe it's because I asked them to take it off my hands earlier than I had first planned on selling them the place by. They weren't able to change any of the locks yet. I'll have to give them a call about that. As for most of the older furniture and appliances that I had, I rented a dumpster and had them all tossed and taken to the dump. And anything that was in better shape and had some value to it still, I made sure to sell to the pawn shop down the road. Why would you do all of that? Well, I never planned on going back to that house once I was already out, and since the place I've moved into already has furniture and everything for me, there was no real reason to keep any of it. You get what I'm saying? What do you think you're doing, selling and tossing out all my things without my permission, though? Are you some kind of a mentally disabled criminal or something? How dare you go out selling someone else's things like that and then tossing all the rest when they weren't even yours? The name on that house before I sold it was always mine and never anybody else's, okay? Huh? And actually, before I had taken it over, it was my mom's house. And before her, it belonged to my grandparents. But after a lot of things ended up happening in the family, the house was eventually given to me and my name was put on it. That happened at about the same time I got married to Jim, and so we went and spiffed the place up a bit and then made it our first home together. What? Is what you just said there really true? It sure is. Very much the truth, actually. And if I really wasn't the owner of that house the whole time, then how would I have been able to sell it so easily? Hold on a second. If that's the case and this house is no longer ours, then where are Jim and I supposed to go and live? You're asking me that question? Oh, by the way, could you cut all of that talk about you and Jim being a thing out now? He's not your fiancé, and he never said that he wanted to marry you either. Huh? What's wrong with me calling myself his fiancé when I am literally his fiancé? Well, the problem with that is Jim and I are planning to get remarried soon and can't have you running around saying you're his fiancé. You guys are going to get remarried to one another? Right now is a better time than any to tell you about this story, so I'm going to do that right now. The divorce we both had is only meant to last a little bit. Huh? Your divorce is only meant to last a little bit? What does that mean? Wait. Tell me what the hell that actually means. Since you and I have never actually met one another in person before, you're probably unaware of the kind of body that I have. In other words, the state of health that I'm in right now. But due to Jim's mom always harassing me, she ended up causing me to get really injured after pushing me down a flight of stairs on purpose. What? Most of the injuries are healed now, but a lot of the worse ones that ended up happening deeper inside of me are still healing, and that means it's a rough time for me still. And a week after having been assaulted, basically, by her, I wanted to get a settlement and call the police on her with the help of Jim, but she wouldn't have that and all and threw so many fits. Jim and I really talked about things after we couldn't get past his mom, and eventually he told me he didn't even want to be a part of her family anymore. And so he and I got a divorce in the hopes that by getting remarried to one another, he can take my family's name and relinquish his mom's. In other words, he's going to have your last name? One night only. See, this is us taking too many steps to not really achieve anything more than we already had. But to my parents, they would like to view him as their son, and considering we all want him to escape from his toxic mom and never have to be reminded of her, we all agreed that we'd let him have my family's name. There were, of course, other ways to change his last name without the divorce and all of that, but it would have taken longer for that to happen, and so divorce and then remarrying sounded like the best option. So we made sure to tell the courthouse and the clerk about what was going to happen and that we'd get divorced, fill out a bunch of new paperwork with his last name being made mine, and then we'd get remarried. Then you both getting that divorce was all for... That's right. It was giving him the chance to take himself out of his mom's family and place himself into mine instead. We plan to have this marriage completed when things have calmed down and we're all moved in. Are you kidding me? The only thing that happened during all of this that we weren't expecting was Jim's mom saying that we had gotten divorced because he was in love with her longtime friend's daughter and that you were to marry him next. Basically, she made up a bunch of lies about Jim and I, all so that you'd think you were his fiancé and so that she could have you as a daughter-in-law instead of me. By the way, Jim told his mom just this morning that he was cutting ties to her and that he'd never be talking to her again. Hold on a second. That man you're planning to get remarried to soon? Do you mind letting me have him instead? Excuse me? To make this all short for you, you being able to cut ties with his mom and everything is the best thing for you, right? And since you're already moved into a new place and no longer have to come back to this house, you're off her grid now. So there shouldn't be any issues with him becoming my husband now, right? And by the way, if he were to make me his wife, then he wouldn't have to cut ties with his mom and everyone could be happy again. Look at that. I am definitely the one that should be getting married to him next, since I'm best for his family. All right, that's the plan we're all going to be going with. Where's Jim at right now? If you tell me where he's been staying, I'll go out and get him right away. Did I not just tell you a second ago that this morning he had gone to his mom to tell her that he'd be cutting ties to her and would never speak to her again? What? And right now he's not even in the U.S. anymore. Huh? He and I left today to live overseas for a while. You guys went overseas? After the both of us went and spoke to our respective higher-ups, Jim said a location overseas was in need of some support and could use his help. And mine said that I could work remotely from anywhere that had internet if I really wanted to, so we'll both be fine. Actually, I meant to say that Jim left before me and has been at our new place for a bit now, and I'm still on my way. Well, I'm going to go there right now. You are? You being the only one who gets to go overseas and live a relaxing life as his housewife isn't fair. I'm a better fit for a life like that, and I am going to take it. I did just say that I'm going to be working remotely over there, didn't I? Huh? And it was actually me who had the idea for him to quit his job and let me do all of the work for the two of us, but he shot that idea down. What? But that means you can leave your job, right? Not with the salary reduction he's received for doing this. Huh? If I stopped working my job, we wouldn't be able to sustain ourselves out here. So I have to keep working regardless of whatever he does. What? Now, it's getting time for us to wrap all this up, right? Wait a sec. When I got divorced from my last husband, I accidentally also cut ties to all of my family. And because of that, I was left with nowhere to call home. The idea was that if I could be married to Jim, I would have myself a new husband and a new place to call my home. And the other plan was to ask for Jim to pay for the settlement I still owe my ex-husband after the divorce. Could you stop talking to me about your life already? But, I am on my plane right now and I am ready to leave, which means I'm putting my phone into airplane mode pretty soon here. And considering I'll be going to a completely different country now, I won't be able to use the SIM card I have anymore. Wait a sec! Goodbye. I don't have a house or any money, though, Laurel! I only learned this a few days ago, but the reason that Ivy even had to get divorced by her ex in the first place was because she had an affair with another man. She had to break up with that man as well, and that left her with no place to go and sleep. However, when she came across my mother-in-law at the time, she told her that she'd give me a reason to leave her son, and that Ivy could marry him after I was gone. And, well, after having pushed me down those stairs and heard about the divorce Jim and I got not too long after I was kind of healed up, she told Ivy to make her move. What happened after Ivy found out that Jim was far from her reach and I was going to be marrying him, she turned her attention back at Jim's mom in anger. She made an attack on the apartment building that Jim's mom is living in, and there they met and started having this massive brawl in the hallway. But this happened at the end of the hallway, closest to the emergency exit, and when one of them pushed the other through the door, they both stumbled down 5 flights of stairs, breaking all sorts of bones. They're both in the hospital now after having sustained even more serious injuries than I had, and are under investigation by the police now as well. They both don't really have any other family around them willing to help them out with their recovery and finances, and are pretty much done for in terms of their remaining life. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Excuse me, Mia, are you really going to be having a wedding now of all times? Long time no see, Shay. And yes, the plan is to have the wedding next month. It's been a whole year now since you both got married to one another, so something about this seems really off to me. And you happen to know what happened a year ago that ended up forcing your brother and I to postpone any talks about having a wedding, right? Huh? It was your family that wasn't happy with the idea of us having our wedding at the same time as when we went to the courthouse and got married. So things went from that to everyone wanting us to first get married and then thinking about things like a wedding afterwards. I remember now. Well, you better not be blaming me for being the reason you had to wait a whole year to have a wedding. I never said it was your fault, though. Actually, you have nothing to do with the reasoning behind it at all, Shay. Huh? Why's that? Because you never had anything to do with it. You've always acted like such a victim, though, both you and your mom, and that's why this time we're not going to be inviting you to the wedding. Oh, that's what I really wanted to talk about. Why are you not inviting my mom and I to your wedding? This is going to be my little brother's wedding of all things. This is what your brother wants, though, so how about you go and ask him why? What? Why? Go ask him. But do you really need him to explain why? I really don't think you should be forgetting the reason for why, though. Well, I know the reason why. Well, then there's no need for an explanation, is there? Huh? Wait. I'm going now. Mom? I went ahead and had a look into what was going on there with Mia and Mike's wedding. Oh, hello, Shay. How did things go there? It seems like they're having the wedding next month, and of course you and I aren't being invited to it. Ah, well, I knew that was going to be the case. Had I never come across your father on the phone with Mike speaking about all of this, I wouldn't have even known that he and Mia would be holding a wedding at all. And to make things worse, that Mia chick, she kept on going on about how us not being invited was something that Mike had wanted, but Mike would never say something like that about us, right? I know that he wants us at the wedding more than anyone else. What was that? Oh, there's no way that Mike would ever say he doesn't want his own mother and sister at his wedding. Is this her harassing both her sister-in-law and mother-in-law then? That surely means Mike is being tricked by her as well now, right? She must have been saying all sorts of bad things about you and I, all in order to brainwash Mike into thinking we're both bad people or something. I see. That's most likely been what's going on here then. You and I need to talk about a plan of attack for this right now, Mom. Understood. Mia, you invite both my mom and I to your wedding right now, please. We've been patient enough with you now, and we'll give you one last chance to send us those invitations. Could you please go and talk with Mike about that right now? I'm not the one that chose to keep you both away from the wedding, and I won't go inviting the both of you without his permission now. I will not accept that it is him who wants my mom and I to stay away from his wedding, though. Then how about instead of wasting both of our time with this, you go and talk with him or something? I don't even understand why you're still talking to me when I've told you plenty of times now that he's the one that asked for all of this. So go have a word with him. I want you to go have a talk with him. If you keep asking me to go and talk with my own brother about this, you are going to really piss me off. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to be caught in the middle of this. Mia, so far my daughter and I have received no form of an invitation in the mail for your wedding. What exactly is going on there? As the mother of the groom, there is no way for me not to be there on his big day. It's been a long time since I last spoke with you, Diana. I spoke with your daughter about all of this already last week, and like I'd said to her, it is your son who said that he doesn't want to invite either one of you to his wedding. Asking me over and over why this is and for me to invite you both is not going to make your dreams come true. So could you please go talk with Mike instead of me? It's because he's not listening to either one of us right now that the only option we have left is to talk with you about all of this. You are the one responsible for all of this, after all. Right, so I'm the one that's behind everything? I'm sure that you've been talking about both my daughter and I to Mike in a bad way, making him hate us more and more for no reason at all, right? That's why the both of us are asking you to go and have a word with him right now in order to fix this mess that you've created. Could you please both think back on what the both of you had done to Mike before coming to me asking that again? Huh? If you were to just remember what happened, then you would have your answer as to why Mike doesn't want you or Shay at the wedding. There is no use with her, is there? She won't budge at all on her stance of not inviting us to her wedding. I see. So not even you could break her to find the answer? All we'd need is a way into that wedding, and then we can figure things out from there. There's no choice. Since she's wanting to act like that, we're going to have to play our last hand. What's the plan, Shay? A friend of mine happens to work over at that wedding venue. As long as I go and have a talk with them about this, I am sure they could help us out in some way to make sure we can get back at Mia. Is that so? So you've had a friend like that this whole time? I knew that this would be the hardest plan to carry out and quite the pain in our butts, and that's why I was saving it as a sort of last resort. We have another 2 weeks before the day of that wedding. Guess there's no choice but to go with it all now. Oh no, the bride's changing room is going all crazy now. Good morning, Shay. Did something happen already? Oh my, so the main guest of today's wedding is still not aware of what's happened? Well, here's the what happened, Mia. My little kid accidentally got red wine all over your wedding dress. What? They got red wine all over my wedding dress? But Shay, your kid is only 5 years old, right? What were they doing carrying around a glass of red wine? We wanted to really celebrate you and Mike today, so we bought a whole bunch of red wine for everyone. Wait, what? That doesn't explain anything about your kid having wine. I know you didn't invite me to be here today, but in the end I really wanted to come and celebrate you guys so badly. The staff told me that I wasn't invited, but I asked them to please let me in to at least give you your present and say hi. So after my mom and I talked with the staff at the front for a bit, they let us all in. But when we made our way over to your dressing room, you weren't inside it yet, and so we were waiting, and, well, not being able to sit around all day waiting, my kid got into the bag that had the red wine for everyone and opened one up. When my mom and I finally realized what she was doing, she had spilled a lot of the wine all over your wedding dress. Then she took a fall and the glass shattered, spilled all the rest of the wine onto your dress, making it even worse. So sorry for getting your dress all messy. Wine is also really hard to get out of clothing, and with the amount on your dress now, there is no way you're getting those stains out today. Now your only option is to have your wedding canceled today, right? But of course, my kid was who caused this, and since they're a kid after all, you'll have to forgive them. And originally, this all happened because you never chose to invite my mom or I to this wedding of yours today, right? The one who should actually be apologizing right now is you, Mia. Shay? That's not my dress you're talking about. What? What do you mean? And actually, my wedding with Mike is already over now. What? Your guys' wedding is already finished? Since when did that happen? Yesterday. You had your wedding yesterday? You said that the wedding would be on the weekend, so I was sure you meant on Sunday. But based on Mike's and my work schedule, Saturday was the best option for us to hold our wedding on. No way. Do you and your mom have any idea whose wedding you're even at right now? We're in S City at the S Wedding Hall right now. Ah, so you guys don't even have the right location either. This isn't the right venue? At first, Mike and I really wanted to go there for our wedding, but after talking with the wedding planner there, she told us that the Saturday we had in mind was all full. So after a little bit of talking and thinking about other places we want to have the wedding, we decided to say screw it and went with a wedding in the Florida Keys instead. So that's where we're both at right now. You're in the Florida Keys? And as for the people who were invited to the wedding, that would just be my parents and your father. So my dad is there with you guys as well right now? 2 days ago, right after he'd gotten out of work, he went straight to the airport and flew out here to be with us. Don't tell me that you never even noticed your father being gone and away from home for the past 2 days, Shay. I never once noticed he was gone. Is that right? So this then means, this dress... I would really like to know who the heck's dress you guys went and ruined today. I have no idea. Wait, did you all run away from that location? But we thought... I suggest you guys all prepare yourselves for what comes next because you're going to have hell to pay here soon. You're not going to be able to run away from that mess as you already had to talk your way into that wedding through the staff, so they know your faces. Good luck! Mia, this is all your fault, so you're going to be the one to pay that $50,000 right now. Excuse me? Ah, so that's the amount both the bride and groom asked you all to pay up after you went and ruined their wedding the other day, right? I don't know all the details about that wedding, but from what I've heard, that wedding dress was made by a very famous designer based in France that you went and ruined. You thought that we should have known that just by looking at it? I told them that it was my kids' fault, but neither one of them would listen to me or forgive us. When it comes to something the child does, it's always on the parents to be responsible for it. And from the very start, weren't you planning on using your kid as a scapegoat so that you could be forgiven by me for going and ruining my dress? The whole story you made up was already quite unbelievable, but you trying to use it on another couple really shows just how desperate you and your mother are. Stop it with all your rambling and pay us that $50,000. They told us we have to pay them in one lump payment, so you get all of that $50,000 right now and send it our way. No way. Huh? I have nothing to do with your guys' problems right now. Goodbye. I was just told by my husband that he wants to divorce me now. I have to turn things around for myself right now, and I need you to go and have a word with him to set him straight. Why should I have to do that? Just like you did to my son, you've gone and brainwashed my husband. Wait. I never did anything to either of the guys, and I have no reason to be brainwashing your husband, even if I was doing that. Then why the hell is my husband saying he wants a divorce now? Maybe it's because you're exactly the kind of person he doesn't like. Huh? I'm going to stop talking to you now. What kind of person are you talking about right now? I've been told by my husband that he wants to divorce me now, and he's going to take full custody of my kid as well. What the hell is going on here? I heard about all of that from him already. He said that in order for you to get into Mike's and my wedding so that you could ruin it for us, you went and talked with one of your friends that worked in that wedding venue and got them to help in letting you inside without an invite. And it turns out that the friend you have working for you at the wedding venue is your ex-boyfriend, right? If you already know about all of that, then you start giving me the money I asked for. I'm already having to pay up close to $50,000 alongside my own mom for the wedding that was ruined, and now I'm having to pay even more. Come on already, why do you keep asking me to give you money when I have literally nothing to do with you? Because you're part of the reason all of this is having to happen to me, so help me the hell out. So you're just going to continue blaming me like that until the end of time, huh? I don't care what you think about this. Help me! Right now your own husband's older sister is in a massive pinch. Well, about that husband of mine, he already told me that he's cutting ties to you now. What? Which means that there is really no reason at all for me to be helping you out, let alone talking to you like this anymore. He's cutting ties to me? So goodbye forever. Mom! Mike just went and cut ties to me forever! He did the same thing to me a second ago as well. What? I just opened the mailbox and there was a letter inside it from him where he explained all of the feelings he has towards me now. And it seems that recently, while you and I had been busy with our own problems, him and Mia moved away. What? And your father divorced me and left the house. He divorced you? He said he's selling the house, so you and I have to get out of here really soon as well now. Huh? He's selling the house now too? Hold on a second, Mom. I'm being divorced by my husband as well, and I won't have a house to go home to now? That house is all I have. You think I can do anything to help you out now? What the hell are we going to do from here on out, though? Both you and I aren't working or anything either. Oh, stop complaining to me about all of it and start trying to help yourself. Seriously, Mom, what the hell are we going to do now? Mike had always lived a life of being picked on and harassed under both his older sister and his mother, leading him to become pretty depressed during his teenage years. This led him to lose a lot of confidence in himself, and that made it near impossible for him to find a girlfriend in high school as well as in college. But once he had graduated from college and had searched for work, he made sure to look for places far away from his family in order to escape them. His time being in college with brand new people also helped him gain some of his confidence back and opened him up a bit more, freeing him from being so depressed. When he had gotten his first job and moved out of the house, he met me, and I became his first ever girlfriend. And when it came to Mike's father, a rather quiet man that didn't ever get his way in the house, the idea of divorcing Diana had popped into his head not too long after Mike left the house. So this time, having gone with his daughter to a wedding that wasn't even Mike's or mine, and ruined it for the bride and groom that day after intending to do that to ours, he had had it with Diana. After that day, people from both Diana's and Shay's life slowly began to leave, making it more difficult for the two to find anyone to help them out. And the only thing they ended up having left was debt. Shay's debt came from both the money she had to pay the groom and bride for their wedding and the wedding dress which she had ruined, as well as a settlement she had to pay her husband. That ex-boyfriend she had been asking to help her into the wedding, which she assumed was mine, only did so under the condition that they had a one-night stand. And so, of course, she went ahead and did that, but not secretly enough to evade her husband, who found out and made that another reason for their divorce. Diana's debt came primarily from the wedding she helped ruin as well, along with having to help Shay pay off her settlement to her ex-husband since she kind of helped Shay have that affair. As of right now, those two are having to live a life in a very small and run-down apartment. They both now live shifting the blame back and forth as to whose fault all of this was, while both working low-level jobs trying to pay off all the debt they had to go into. There are times where both of them will try calling either Mike or I, saying that they'd learned their lessons and wanted to make things up after becoming family to us again. But both Mike and I know that's a lie, and have since gone and blocked both of their numbers and deleted their contact information off of our phones. When we moved into our new house, we also made sure to never tell anyone in that family, not even Mike's father, about our new address. And only just started talking with his father again after the divorce had happened. Mike is now much closer to his office as well with this new house, and I'm closer to my parents' house. All in all, this was a very happy ending for almost everyone, minus both Shay and Diana, who will be forever regretting their wrongdoings. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.